Okay, chat. Let me see. That's gonna do it for me today. But someone wanted me to check out a video here. I think it's Boris's 4-4-2 tactics, so we're gonna check that out. I'm gonna see if people are interested in watching these types of things. So I'm not really like entirely too sure. So I'll post this up on the YouTube channel to see if people like my opinions on these types of things. Because I know that in the past, like I've reviewed people's content, but it's more like to give them shouts because they deserve more viewers. But obviously, Boris is already doing really well on YouTube. Um, so we could do that in that regard. I guess people. I don't know if you would want my opinion on it. I don't know if my opinion would matter because I'm not a pro player. But I think Boris would show gameplay too. So I'm gonna just open up this link that someone sent me and let's get into it. Is it this one? No, that's not the right one. Wait. There we go. Now we're good.
Boraslegends here, and today we're back with a new Weekend League recap, and we have some new tactics that I want to show you.
Okay, so he's using the 4-4-2, so he's going to use Patrick Vieira. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, he uses Havertz on the sides, or the striker. Yeah, that's a pretty nice team.
Also changed my team a little bit. A small renovation with Karim the Dream. Back, my favorite player back in the days, FIFA 13-14, but he was really not so good. He is a bit clunky. He doesn't really have that excellence that it takes. Something special, maybe super good jumping, very strong, very fast. He's just good at everything, but for certain type of gameplay, like incredibly slow and a lot of delay, he is not the best player. So I had to change him out after a while, after it went bad. So I had to take in Cristiano Ronaldo. And yes, I'm gonna show you my 4-4-2 tactic soon, but first
Yeah, okay.
My main tactic is still a 4-2-3-1. Van Dijk is the best center back in the game. He is at a different level. He's better than Varane. Really, absolutely fantastic.
I think Havertz is left-footed, if I'm not mistaken. So let me just check that really quickly. Players, blah, 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 blah. Havertz. Oh, Havertz is with a Z. I don't actually remember if he's left-footed. Yes, he is left-footed with a 5-star weak foot. So yeah, that makes sense for you to put him on the right side there.
Also, Dani Costa is, I think, the best right back at the moment. So physical, very, very versatile, and he also links with the super team of the season player Kai Havertz, who is an absolute monster. He is a 188. He has 5-star weak foot, and he just he simply has everything. This very, very young man. And also Neymar was playing on 7 chemistry, worked perfectly fine. My favorite, the team of the year item, and R9 was shit as usual. So yes, we have the 4-4-2, which is turning out to be better and better for every month in FIFA 19. As people learn to defend against the 4-2-3-1, the 4-4-2 becomes very interesting, and especially with these two strikers, which is a bit different to defend against than the usual one single striker. And I'm gonna show you here also my tactics for this one. I was trying something different, playing balanced 6 width and 4 in depth. And this 4 in depth on balance, it disallows, of course, the through balls, but you can also apply some nice pressure. And if this was on drop back, I would play on 6. It equals about the same depth. It's all about what you want to play. Of course, you can also play press on heavy touch or press after possession loss. But for this one, I was playing a very, very, like it says, very, very balanced type of defense also here. With balanced in the attack, and this also depends.
I'm not a fan of playing it like too wide. I know why they do that, because it's easier to transition from the defense to the attack or a little bit wider. But I like having it just at 5 or 4 might be a little bit too low, but I think the default at 5 is pretty decent.
On your playstyle, because
especially because of the first time shots and stuff, like you need to have the 2 core midfielders need to be pretty good, right? So I think Slaja at one point was using Patrick Vieira and Modric or something like that, or something around the lines of that. And that's like a pretty good combo to have between the two.
You like to play counter attacks, you can play long balls or fast build up, because this formation, it works with everything. You can play counters and you can also play possession play. But I simply like to do both. I like to counter and I like to keep the ball. It depends on my mood. That's why I think balanced is very, very nice. And also no complications, just 5-5 and 2 for corners and 2 for free kicks is perfectly enough. Alright,
it's generic, yeah.
Because this is where it gets a bit interesting. The 4-4-2.
I like these instructions actually. Stay central, get in behind, and come back on defense. It makes sense for you to stay central because he probably has stay wide on his left mids and right mids.
I was trying a lot of different things, but this was my favorite combination for the strikers. Get in behind and stay central because I want them to just be in the middle for these passes in the box, and also to not conflict in the positions with these wingers have.
Excuse me. Cut inside, get into the box for the cross. Get into the box for the cross because the crosses are effective, right? The transition of the attacker is always going to be better than the transition of the defender. And then cut inside probably to do the first time shots as well.
And Cristiano in this case, I just want him to be central, so that's why I picked that for support runs, and also getting behind I feel is always the most dangerous because
he doesn't have the right players in the right positions.
Simply more movement, which I like in attack, and also combat.
Pretty sure he uses Ronaldo at the top and then he uses Hullet as a CDM.
Back on defense, which makes it harder for the opponent to break through. And for the wingers, for the LM and RM, we're using here cut inside and get into the box for cross. This is simply to try to centralize as many players as possible. We have the strikers stay central and we have the wingers getting in the box, because we all know how effective crosses are in this game, and we want to make these wingers as active as possible in the gameplay so they can simply run in from the wings and create trouble for the opposition. And you could play getting behind also, but I still feel that despite not using getting behind, you can see later in the gameplay that they are still making these runs.
I think it's because like Ronaldo has high-low work rates, so that's like a characteristic of a player, especially since it's like a team of the year. So you don't necessarily need to tell him to get in behind because he'll do that quite often. I think Havertz is medium, so I'm curious to see if he shows any gameplay. I want to see how Havertz moves on the pitch, being a medium player on balanced instructions. So that he doesn't force him to go up, doesn't force him to come short or whatever it is. So Havertz is medium. So I'm curious to see how that team moves with both of them.
Behind the defensive line. And then for the CMs, I just left them on balance because
really,
what is very important here is that this is my attacking game plan. So if this was my defensive game plan, I would have them on stay back, as I want to maybe come back in a game or simply score more goals. I want to have more people going forward, so I simply have my CMs here on balanced attack, as you can see here, and I made no other changes here to the instructions. You could play. To
be honest, since he pushes his strikers up with getting behind and stay central, it actually might make sense to keep his midfielders balanced, so that because if he has stay back while attacking with them, the gap between the midfielders and the strikers is going to be really big.
Cover center here for the defensive.
That's why I'm not a huge fan of getting behind in FIFA
position, but it
personally
doesn't really make a big difference if you feel that they are running out too much on the wing or something like that. You could add this, but I just feel that, well, it makes maybe a couple of percent difference. But if you want, yes, of course, you could use cover center as well. And the same goes here for the wing back, since this is my attacking game plan. I have them on balance, but if you want to create a more defensive structure, like I mentioned,
that's smart because his left mids and right mids cutting in behind and his strikers on stay central will allow him to still have the extra width. But it's kind of dangerous to have attacking fullbacks. You need good players to be able to for them to be able to track back really quickly. High work rates. You want to try to get high work rates as much as possible.
Should have both the wing backs and the CMs to stay back while attacking. Right, let's check some gameplay now. This is a perfect display for the 4-4-2. We're gonna start this.
I love that he shows gameplay. This dude is another person, man. Like I don't give credit for in the community, but I haven't given credit for in the community. But He always does this. Like he creates content to cater to the viewers, right? To whatever they want to see, foot champs, rewards, stuff like that. But I love that this is the type of content I like to see. I like to see someone talking about the game, talking about their instructions, tactics, the players, whatever it is. Boom, show gameplay, prove that point. You know what I'm saying?
Weekend from 20, and
It's a simple 4-2-3-1.
I was also streaming a bit this weekend on Twitch. I'm gonna try to stream more in the future, but simply my PC was breaking down a lot of times. I had a lot of blue screens, so I had to stop the streaming this weekend, and I'm ordering a new PC to try to solve this issue. But yes, Benzema, not really, unfortunately. I mean, one of my favorite players back in the days, but not really the same in FIFA 19. Despite his incredible stats with Team of the Season, doesn't feel the same in this world.
So the reason why the Team of the Season Benzema is bad is because he may not have, because the thing about these cards, right, is that he doesn't have the balance, but neither does Ronaldo, right? But Ronaldo has it's weird, right? Because if you guys ever realize with players in FIFA, their base card stats will always feel somewhat similar to the Team of the Year in terms of characteristics. Not in terms of player stat increase, you're going to be like, it's Sasha, but it's 99. I know, but in terms of characteristic, the way that the player feels in games, some things kind of stay. Benzema's slow dribbling is still going to stay. Ronaldo, he's got slow dribbling sometimes because of his lack of balance, right? But he still dribbles better than Benzema does on his regular card. Just the regular card, right? So an increase in dribbling for Ronaldo will just make him feel better because Ronaldo's dribbling does not feel as bad as Benzema's, right? So just food for thought, right? Sometimes the agility overthrows the balance, but sometimes a characteristic of a player from before transfers over to the Team of the Year, and that's why some of those things that you don't like still linger around, right?
It was a very cagey start, and this guy gets the best start here with 1-0. It's not much to do in this case. Maybe we can run up with the keeper, with the keeper movement, but we didn't do it. And yes, simply here the 4-2-3-1, starting with the 4-2-3-1, and you can see that we are a bit isolated here in the attack, and we have to try to make something special with the skill moves. We have to simply work very hard for every chance here with the 4-2-3-1 against this type of opposition. So yes, in the second half we go.
I don't like Croqueta, and Croqueta, there's no counter to Croqueta. Anyone thinking that it's a skill to use Croqueta, you're out of your mind, okay? But he's a pro player, so I understand. I get it.
With our plan.
They probably use it a lot, to be honest.
And be tactic, like I mentioned, like I showed
flick ups and stuff, you know.
4-4-2 with the very attacking instructions.
Sancho,
and for the fullbacks, and this gives result instantly. You can just see here on this free screen how we have so many players in the box, and of course it creates trouble for the opponent. He has to think twice.
First time
he
shot.
Has to focus on more players, and this time he didn't see my Cristiano here with that typical FIFA 19 finish, the one-touch shot, which is just...
See, they don't like it either, but they gotta do what they gotta do to score the goals, right?
Ridiculously...
I do the same shit with sometimes first-time shots, but I try to break them down as much as possible. But he is 20-0 right now. 20-0, it's all about abusing the mechanics. You gotta do it, man.
OP. And once again, you can see how we have a lot of players going forward. Also, Modric, RCM, is running forward nicely. And also our wingbacks here. But one notice is that we had also... I'm
gonna be honest, I'm not liking the way that it's positioned. I know he's putting a lot of pressure on that back line, but having no presence in the middle, I think he probably waits a lot for the transitioning runs for those first times.
The fullbacks on attack,
because it's when they come back and transition back in that they get those opportunities
with the quick tactics. So we had them even more going forward in this game. You can see that we still have Modric just staying back, so even though they are unbalanced, usually the AI makes sure that one goes forward and one
first time
stays at the back, which is very nice. And once again, the one-touch shot is very powerful, and you should use it as much as possible because this game is a bit broken, unfortunately. And the 4-4-2 here gives us more chances. Made its comeback and almost 3-1 here.
It's unfortunate because the reason why he shoots it like that
here gives us more chance.
the reason why he shoots it like that, because you're gonna be like, why didn't he just finesse it? First of all, this dude over here. Second of all, this dude over here. And then I'm pretty sure he's going for a near post green time shot.
Says,
and then doesn't get it, which is unfortunate. His goalie saves it.
Made its comeback.
And then deflection goes over the ball.
Or
over the bar.
Almost 3-1 here, surely. Cristiano should have scored this one, but instead later he's gonna get more chances here, and
first time
with the Neymar finding Cristiano.
Oh, saucy, Boris, saucy. I like the sauce.
19, but this just felt very good. It felt like the old time, scoring these nice combinations, and
that's good pressure.
Also in the defense, you can see how we covered the whole pitch here. I mean, we have it all covered. This 4-4-2, despite having 4 in depth, we can still apply some very nice pressure. And Van der Sar here in the goal, he was amazing this weekend. His 89, because his 89 is simply faster than his prime, and speed for goalkeepers are important. I really think that Van der Sar 89 is maybe the best goal.
Manual goalkeeping here? Let me see.
Goalkeepers are important. I really think that Van der Sar 89
manual goalkeeping a little bit there
is maybe the best goalkeeper in the game. And also we will seal the deal in this game, and it is Neymar here with the timed driven shot 4-1, and later we will score the last goal in this game. And Da Costa was really good, makes a nice interception, finds Sancho, and Neymar here is just very good, also with that driven finesse shot.
I like that.
5-1. We're also going to take a look here at the next game. This was a tough game, and this guy also had that Dani Da Costa right back. Like I mentioned, I think he's the best right back in the game at the moment. It might change tomorrow with the new Serie A, and I think Eredivisie team of the season, but Da Costa is just amazing. Even here, I think, well, that was not his fault, but Van der Sar makes a howler here, and this was, I think, his only howler the whole weekend, but it was a very expensive one. But it will be 1-1 in after we score this one, so it's all reset. Alright, it's fair now, but here I was just so stupid. Never make a sliding tackle.
Yeah, it's true.
You should never do it. You have nothing to win.
Yeah.
And I was just so lucky that I didn't get a red card here. Mehmet Yildiz, he just stares at my
right side
R9 and says, well, you can simply not do that anymore, my friend. And 4-2 is back in the second half. We have a very attacking style here also with you can't see it now, but I have the quick tactics also with attacking fullbacks added. You can just see.
So Boris's version of the 4-4-2 is an overcommitting 4-4-2. That's what it is. It's an overcommitting 4-4-2. I think what I would try out in his team is I wouldn't use getting behind for the strikers. Because the way his team is committing up, he looks for transitions of when they come back and then transition back into the attack for those first time shots, which to be honest is the meta. So it actually might be the preferable way to win more games. Not necessarily in an enjoyable way though.
How attacking my fullbacks are in this game. It's of course
that was lovely though.
It gives you more chances in the attack, but it will also be a risk
good
in
vision
defense, there, which you might, which you will see later in this game. How I will simply get punished with this very attacking tactics. But first we have Sancho here. His Ederson makes a stupid save, but here I should have, I think, shot with Modric with the first time finish. But instead, I will. You can see here, I will lose possession of the ball, and shortly later, Modric finds Gullit, and just look at this, with our fullbacks on attack, we have 9 people forward, we have only the poor Van Dijk.
See, you could see it now, it's an overcommitting 4-4-2.
Staying in the defense, and I was turning off attacking fullbacks as soon as I saw this, but it was simply too late. He will score 3-2,
yeah,
and it's not a nice situation to be in. With only a few minutes left in this game. Volunteer makes a nice sacrifice on the midfield. Havertz finds Neymar, a nice finish, but Ederson is just a Very, very good keeper, which you also will see later in this recap how Ederson is really a freak, man.
Oh, that's
But,
Ronaldo's physical
Cristiano
chip.
First.
Ooh, oh my!
Almost. He gets this open chance, but very, very close. But it was simply not enough in this game. He will get one last chance, but this time I think referee made the wrong call. I mean, this was like in that game.
It's not a matter of the ref making a wrong call. These tackles are just stupid. Do you even tackle here?
I think referee made the wrong call.
He did tackle him.
One last chance, but this time I think referee made the wrong call. I mean, this was like in that game, Nations League with Switzerland and Portugal. This was not a pen, man. But he gets this still, and 4-2 is going to be GG. I think it wouldn't matter. Anyways, he would have won this game, and we simply get our first loss this weekend, and we have to win the rest of the games in order to get top 100 and that amazing La Liga Team of the Season pack. But first we have to get past this hurdle with this very, very strong team, and also this guy finished Elite 1. So teams are very, very even, and many people will say, well, you can only manage to get these results in Weekend League because you have a really, really good team. But I think this game shows something else, because we are here even matchup, but the difference is, of course, the game.
Yeah, that's the one. That comment is annoying. It's when you hit, like, if you're 14-0, that's when it really matters. You know what I'm saying? That's when, like, having the good teams matter. Sometimes they'll come up against the good teams, good players in, like, the first, like, 15 games. It's possible, right? It's always possible. But when you do get to the end, like Boris is at, like, you need the good players to balance out, especially with the physical presence, man.
Knowledge, and here Neymar with a nice drag back L1 cross, and we managed to time this header, and also wonderful to see that the.
I'm not a fan of this gameplay. But this isn't gameplay to be like, whoa, over. Some of his goals are still nice. He still tries to score good goals, but you guys understand it's FIFA 19. FIFA 19's logical finishing there is none, right? You have to use these mechanics to score. He's a pro player, so I fully understand. It's just
That's your badge, and
seeing it is not enjoyable for me, you know.
Lazio fan that we're playing.
But Boris is a very good player. He's a very solid player. He's actually in the past done a lot of passing plays, done a lot of breaking down people's defense. His tactics back in the day was all about that. So there's a lot of people nowadays that are pro players, that were pro players before, that are good players, but they abuse these mechanics because they have to. They're professional players. You got to do what you got to do to get that money. Can't really fault it.
Very, very sentimental.
But it's just like, for me personally as a viewer, like if I was just a regular viewer being interested in competitive esports, and then checking out a FIFA stream and then seeing this, it's just not really. It's not really interesting, you know.
Not often you see this. Me also, of course, as a Lazio supporter, it was a very nice sight, and this is a fantastic finish. It's nothing to do for his keeper. That driven time shot, when he managed to find that perfect timing and the perfect power on the shot, it is so hard to save. And R9, he does what he is good at, and that is the finishing. He is a really good finisher, but otherwise, other than that, he is unfortunately pretty poor in this FIFA.
Ooh,
but
sauce!
Here finds 4-0, and this is
see. I'm telling you, he has it. He has to use the other ones too to abuse the mechanics. He has to, because you can see that he does. He still does it. He's still got the sauce, man.
Pretty much game over.
I don't like his 4-4-2 though. I don't like his 4-4-2. But Boris has always been like this, man. He's always been an aggressive attacker, right? He's always been an aggressive attacker. So it makes total sense for him. I think the transitioning is perfect for him. But for me personally, I wouldn't use this.
I switched off a bit after this. I could have done better here. Switch faster simply to Van Dijk. He scores 4.
I love that he scores that chip. I love it.
Switched off a bit after this. I could have done better here. Switch faster simply to Van Dijk.
The animation of the goalie, Neymar chipping him, beautiful.
He scores 4.
I wish this was a more of a consistent way of scoring.
But it didn't really matter, because in that second half we're gonna score a couple of more goals, and we have Havertz here. He was so good. I mean, really I think my
Oh,
favorite
that was a
team this
great
season,
fake
item,
shot.
this year,
Yeah, near
this
post
far,
there.
together with Van Dijk. But then we
Nice.
have this game, and this
Really, was that an angled body feint or fake shot? That was great. I like this actually.
we have Havertz here. He was so good. I mean, really.
First, so he makes the this is really good play, right? So he makes the 1-2 pass right away with Hullet, right? And when he does the 1-2 pass, because Ronaldo's transitioning in the middle, that's why he fake shots upwards to get the space on the left side. See, he's already starting the run with Hullet.
I think my
fake
favorite
shot.
team this season, item this year, this far, to
5-star weak foot on Hullet with good shooting stats is helpful in that situation, though, man.
get it with Van Dijk. But then we have this game, and this was a very frustrating game. This was the last game of Weekly League. The game to get top 100, and this game made me really crazy. And I didn't want to make a recap after this because I was really fuming. First, okay, he scores a 360 no scope. No
that's just stupid.
I was really fuming. First, okay, he scores a 360 no scope.
Yeah, he's right about that one.
No worries. That is just the game, you know. It's just normal. Yeah. It's a normal FIFA 19 goal. But what happened after this, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, his. But what 19 goal.
Yeah, so the thing about this shot is that especially since it's a team of the year Ronaldo, for this year's game, I don't know how it's going to work next year. I can't say that this finish should work next year's game because I don't know what it's like, right? But this one should work on a green timed driven, in my opinion. I think it should, for this year's game especially.
But
this warrants more just for this year's game. It's a little bit high, but it's a team. It also is a team of the year Ronaldo. If a regular Ronaldo doesn't score, sure. Team of the year though, we're talking a little bit, but green time shot, bottom left, it's still better than the piece of shit goal he scored, right?
But what happened after this, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, his Ederson, he was. I've never seen a keeper make.
Oh, that's bullshit. That one's bullshit.
I've never seen a keeper make that many saves, and he was just phenomenal. And when he didn't save it,
his turnaround didn't work there. This is team of the year Neymar, so the game could decide for this to be a goal. I've scored goals like this with a regular Ronaldo.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's it. GG's, bro. They'll score. They could score that if they want to, man, for sure.
And when he didn't save it,
and he whites it. That's not a red. That's a white time shot. So that's a regular finish.
I missed these clear chances, and well, I was clueless what to do. And here I could have done it better.
Yeah, that's a different one. Too far.
Ederson was there. His team of the season seems to be one of the best keepers in the game. After what I saw in this game, it didn't matter what I was doing. He was Spider-Man, he was Superman, all combined in one single body. And I was trying my best here also with Sancho as a super sub. Sancho was really good for me as a super sub. And of course, I could argue that I didn't really have my finishing wasn't on point this game, but some of these shots were pretty decent. But Ederson, he was just everywhere.
I can't blame him too. Like, my brain is thinking logically that he's taking the wrong finishes, but I can't blame him for it because of manual goalkeeping. That's the thing with FIFA right now. Because like logically, there's so many logical ones, right? So let's just like take a look at some of these opportunities, right? So I'll just pause it. So that one, yeah, driven shots, that's a regular thing you do. In general, I think that's too high. I think doing a fake shot, cutting back inside, driven finesse shot, then it should have been a goal. Logically. This is FIFA 19, so you can't really think of it logically, right? But this is just like my opinion. This one over here, touch, tap shot. Just a tap shot. Tap shot right under his arm should work here. For sure. Maybe it would. I think he does too much power in the finesse. Let me actually check. He puts a 1.5 bar. Yeah, so it's going to lift the ball a little bit on that one. Maybe if he did a tap shot, but that's logically, right? That one, FIFA 19 mechanics, I'm super surprised they missed that one. Very, very surprised. Maybe a regular shot. I'm saying maybe. I hate when people try to apply logic to finishing. Like, there is logic to finishing. I can't blame him for the finishing because of the different variables in this game, right? This one over here, this one at any point doesn't deserve it. This is just a regular shot. Too far, hasn't worked the angle well enough. Edison saving that one. Yeah. This one's same thing here. Doing a time shot at the goalkeeper. Maybe more power, he scores that one. Fake shots, fake shots. So the logical one here is power to the near post. I think he finesse shots this to the near post.
Body, and I was trying my best here also with Sancho as a super sub. Sancho was really good for me.
This one, bro, a chip shot. Like, at that point,
really good for me.
Once you slow down, chip shot should work easily, man. If he puts enough power into it.
As a super sub, and of course it could.
But it doesn't work. Dude, here's the thing. Look at this Van Dijk, right?
And single body, and I was trying my best here also with Sancho as a super sub. Sancho was really good for me as a super sub. And
you know what? I actually give the opponent credit for this one. Him pulling out, not manual goalkeeping. I like when people pull out the goalkeeper at the right time. So this one, I kind of give the opponent credit for.
Of course, you could argue that I didn't really have my finishing wasn't on point.
I like Boris. He's honest in those things, you know.
This game.
This one, honestly, simple touch finesse shot to the right side, or touch near post power shot.
My finishing wasn't on point this game.
Yeah. The way the goalie's approaching, it has to be a regular finesse shot. This angle, regular finesse shot should work.
But some of these shots were pretty.
I think if he takes the first time shot, he probably scores this because of the FIFA mechanics.
Wasn't on point.
No, that angle might. I don't know about that angle. I don't know if that angle goes in right away.
This game, but some of these shots were pretty decent. But Ederson, he was just everywhere, and I was freaking out. I was just thinking I will miss top 100 because of this. And also Sancho here. I don't know what was happening. I think that was a call for a free kick. And yes, time is running out, and we get some more chances. This is a poor shot. I was getting very desperate, but it was just a brick wall. And Neymar here, he has to start the La Croqueta train, and a yellow time finish. All it took was a yellow time finish. If someone just told me before this game, Boras, just make a yellow time finish and you will score against this superhuman being, and I will save a lot of hair. And after this, in the extra time, we will score goals with ease here, 2-1. Even though we get denied by the crossbar, this guy was also...
I felt that one.
Had some chances, but Van der Sar was really good, and I was looking for the final goal to seal the deal, but Ederson was once again really, really good. It had to be, of course, my favorite player from back in the day, Benzema, with one very nice magical run. He gets past a lot of defenders, gets a bit lucky here with the rebound, but he scores.
I don't like that skill move. It's just the skill move's cool. There's just no balance for it in this game.
The 3-1. I really thought, okay, now I can finally...
You see any animation to deal with it? It's just like, boom, done, boom, done, boom, done. You just get past people so easily. No one's doing that in real life.
Take it easy and relax. But this game was not over. He will score from this...
Even for the video game console, it makes no sense. He'll score that.
Firmino, just look...
Yeah, you could tell by the transition of the attacker.
That jump, that was really, really powerful. And the game is not over yet. We have to defend this last attack. But luckily... he isn't precise with that pass.
I like how he changes the music.
And finally relax after this. Van der Sar shoots the ball away, and that is the final whistle in this game.
It's not really like a 4-4-2 video. Some of it was 4-4-2. It was him using like different formations. He was using the 4.
Top 100 placement.
2-3-1.
Stats in this game. I mean,
he did explain in the video that he was using it for the attack, so that actually kind of makes sense. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube and see if people like these types of videos, me reacting to other people's tactics and stuff. Again, I don't like some of the, 27 and 18. I don't like some of the stuff that the pro players have to do, but I don't blame them at all, man. because he's pro players, man. They go to the competitive tournaments and everything. They gotta use these mechanics. Croquetas, there's no balance to it. Flick ups, the transition of the attackers is better than the transition of the defenders. It's a lot of stuff. I didn't like a lot of these goals, but you could still tell that Boris still tries to play good FIFA because some of the goals he scored were like pretty saucy. You know what I'm saying? So he still has it down, but he can't always do it. This game doesn't reward that playstyle, so I understand why he doesn't do it. But yeah, we'll see if people like these types of videos on YouTube.